Yo, we can just take a seat, man. All right. Who are you, man? Tell the people who you are.
It's your boy, your guy, sir, Phil Cuttino. I am Phil Cuttino. They call me J.I.P the Ruler. I went through many names, Beat Street, the Boy XO. Well, not many names, and then I ended up at J.I.P the Ruler.
I feel like I met you at Beat Street.
Yeah, that was around the time where I was first like really stepping out into beyond where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where'd you grow up?
North Philly, 22nd and Lehigh. I was down 18th in Montgomery for a little bit. Nice town. I went to Still Elementary, Gillespie, Fitzsimons, and then I moved to the northeast of Frankfurt. Well, not necessarily Frankfurt. I moved to the northeast, close to Frankfurt. But yeah, so.
So how'd you get into dance?
Dance was like from the jump. Family, my dad was a dancer. My dad actually was a rapper and a music artist, so a music producer. My first show I was performing with him, and I was like 4 years old. My cousin, she danced. My aunt used to dance. Everybody used to dance. We used to do it at home. My grandma used to do it. I remember Sundays, the cleaning up on Sunday thing. Like, it really was a thing. And I was there to see everybody already dancing, so it was kind of natural for me to just be dancing. But my first show, I was 4 years old.
And the scene, like when you first connected with like the street
that was
dance
like
scene
from
in
the
Philly.
beginning.
That's from the beginning.
From the jump.
So who are some individuals in Philly who are your go-to cats that you came up with from the jump?
That I came up with?
Yeah, or came up around.
All right, so the people that I came up with was like the Hannibals, names that people would know.
Mm-hmm.
Hannibal, Virgil,
Mm-hmm.
Smart Mark. It's not too many of us from our era
Mm-hmm.
that actually kept dancing to take it to a professional level,
Mm-hmm.
but some of the people that I came up seeing, Supreme, Timothy,
Mm-hmm.
Supreme and his partner Dane, the Four Horsemen,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Mackey, it was so many, PDK, Bryant Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and Wilk the Buzzer. Like, it's so many people that I came up seeing just because I was doing it from a young age. Like, with my first show being 4, like, I could say I looked at a tape to when I was dancing maybe about like 6 or 7 years old, and somebody, Dwayne was on the tape, and Clyde, Dwayne and Clyde was on the tape. So it was like, I was around people that I didn't even know who they were until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
So it started from the jump.
What's the X-Men? When did that come about?
So X-Men came about when I was in high school, but it's people that I met from middle school.
Okay, who's all that?
All right, so X-Men is straight North Philly. By this time, I lived in Frankfurt, so I'm technically the one from Frankfurt. All right, so it was me, Aaron, Dex, Rome, Mill, Twine, Ray, Laris. Then we had a young lady, Joanna. It started, all right, so let me give you the origin first. All right, so like I said, it's people that I went to middle school with. So since I already danced, I kind of already knew these people. One of my cousins, he a cousin through a cousin, but we've been cousins ever since we met. So one of my cousins, we went to middle school together, but we ain't know each other like that, but we danced. So we all already knew each other. Then by the time I moved to Northeast and I was coming back down North Philly, he was introducing me to the other people that started the group, but it wasn't a group yet. Then they started the group, but I wasn't around. So I went through this situation in high school. I was on punishment for like 3 years, maybe like 2, 1 whole year for sure. Like, I was on punishment every 2 weeks off for the weekend and right back. So I missed a whole lot of time, and that's when they started the group. So by the time I was coming out, people had already left the group, and I came to the club, the Hideaway, that was ran by Gene Banks, DJ Frizz, and this was before DJ Freak Nasty even came to be a DJ at the Hideaway. So I come back to the club, and they got this whole movement. We lit. We just won the football championship. I went to Frankfurt. Shout out class of 04, back-to-back champions, football. So we go back down there to go to the party to celebrate. It's lit. It's a movie, and I'm looking around. I'm like, this what I've been missing all this time?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all got me messed up. So that's how I ended up back on punishment the next year.
Yeah.
Because it was like, no,
You were out there.
I'm not missing this no more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the X-Men started, I would say like around 2002, then X-Men 2. That's the X-Men that everybody know.
Mm-hmm.
That version of X-Men, that's the version of X-Men that I was there for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's around 2004, 2005, 2006.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nice run till I say about 2009, 10. I had an unfortunate accident in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like 3 more years after that. So like around 2009, we had like a nice run. That's when things kind of died down. We was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up started touring with Ill Style and Peace Productions out of college. I was going to Art Institute at the time. So things was just moving on.
So let's fast forward. Ill Style and Peace Productions, and then, and then eventually RHPM, Rennie Harris Pure Movement.
Yeah.
Like what's that like for you? Like going from dancing in, community spaces, parties, sessions at the crib or wherever, to now being on these theatrical stages. What was that like for you? I mean, you were already a theater.
And that's what it
you were
was.
already
I wasn't shy.
You were
of
hitting.
It.
Like,
no,
were
not
you
even.
guys
Like, so my first play, I was in middle school. I went to private school for 1.5 years. That's when I did my first play, and I think his name was something Brown. All I remember is the Brown, Joe Brown, John Brown, something. But they had it was a play about young black men growing up and stuff like that, and it was a touring play. They came to the school to do the play, and then I ended up getting a role when they did a program, and they casted people in the school to be a part of a play that they were putting on with people from the school, and I ended up getting one of the main roles. But that was when I was in private school. Like I did ballet and tap in private school, and then I got kicked out of ballet and enjoyed tap, and then she kicked me out of tap because I enjoyed hip hop too much, but I didn't want to participate in ballet. And guess who my teacher was?
Who's your teacher?
Miss J. Allison.
Wow.
So it all ended up paying off.
So then, all right. So what's the Ill Style and Peace experience?
So
how did that help you develop?
That was definitely like a work in progress process. Like I got into the company not knowing how hip hop companies are ran. I got into working on I would say like a nice level platform, not really knowing much about the industry and how to operate within it. Dance-wise, I also was still immature. Coming from the street dance part, the club dancing, I believe we was doing something that we believed in so much that we couldn't shift how we dance all the way. That's why a lot of our peers stopped dancing, I believe, because what we was doing at the time versus how to work in the industry kinda didn't work together. So being with Ill Style and Peace, that actually gave me a lot of time to practice and cultivate mastering skills. All right, yeah, I know about locking, I understand Don Campbell and all that, but now do it. Now practice it. Be able to separate the difference between locking and Campbell locking. Like, it gave me a lot. It gave me time to understand a lot, but also open up doors for me to see how much more I want to learn in other spaces about this if I'm going to keep doing it.
And then I'm sure RHPM was just another level of that, and maybe by the time you came to RHPM, some of these things were more refined.
Yeah, I had a little bit more direction to understanding who I was and what I was capable of, how to be a part of a team, how to be a part of an organization, also how to carry the mission on another level. We was a dope team when we was Ill Styles, but we also brought the team that we were on the streets to Ill Style. So that's where a lot of that was blurred, where once I came to Rennie Harris, it was more individual. We were all there as individuals, and we had to carry as such. You had to be a professional on your own. And it wasn't a hard transition. It was actually greatly appreciated, because when you're able to see examples of it, you're able to learn a lot more, a lot faster. So
That's amazing. What is the difference in terms of street dance? What is the difference from your vantage point between the club dancer, the theatrical dancer, and then the dancer that's more of a commercial dancer? Like, or a battle dancer. I mean, there's all these different avenues that you can take.
But those three could really sum it up.
Yeah, and maybe even not the commercial dancer. I mean, maybe that's going way too far out. Maybe we just deal with categorizing the club dancer, because that's something that's very different than battling, and that's something that's very different from what you're really experienced and great at, which is theater. So how, like, what, you know, and I was really interested by you identifying the fact that some people aren't able to make that transition.
Yeah.
And so how do you make those transitions?
Coming from the club, coming from the streets, the hood, the urban atmosphere, whatever you need to call it, we had to endure all of those things. We had to endure the challenge. We had to endure the struggle. We had to endure not knowing, the big homies going at your neck, not letting you in the circle, you having to go earn your stripes and all of that stuff. So from the club aesthetic, and not just club as in the club, like the party place. Club as in like a type of music. You get what I mean? So yeah, it was in the club, but it was also driven by a type of music. So that Baltimore club, Jersey club, Philly club, that's a whole different beast. So we had to do the battles, but we also was cultivating something. So the battle was there, but we all were also building at the same time. So the battle was just a part of it, even though it wasn't the focus. So now it could be a focus since the dance is structured. But now, trying to do that and then go to theater is performance. Theater isn't just killing beats. Theater isn't just certain movements to make sure you staying in the groove or in the pocket. You really gotta tell certain stories. You gotta make certain movements way more elaborate than you might think or believe to actually tell the story that you need to tell. So I don't know, what helped me with that transition, I always had a thing for choreography. Like, I love choreography. But I also like building choreography with concepts. So when you go in the theater, that's where concept-driven choreography is able to live, because now you're telling stories. But like you said, in the commercial sense, you could go the commercial route. The commercial route was cool. I did it for a little bit, but it wasn't my type of choreography because it wasn't saying anything for me. It was a lot of gesture movement. And being of the culture that the gestures kind of come from, it wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't really dance for me. It was just placement. It was and seeing if I could look cool while I do it. And it's no shade to anybody that could do it, because that's a skill, and I love it.
Yes, same.
Like people who could do it, oh man, way more power to you because that's just not my space. Like I like to be able to jump in every now and then just for the challenge because I can do it, but I enjoy telling more stories.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, so here's another avenue. Philly dance. And Philly dance to me is so many different things, but I think one of the things that's so special about you is that you are so steeped in the club languages that are uniquely Philly or uniquely kind of shared between the tri-state area, Jersey club, Baltimore club, Philly club. Can you describe what those jigs are, what those sounds are? Okay. Obviously, there's tangin', you got the Wu-Tang, but that's something that I think, particularly thinking about urban movement arts, that's not one of the languages that is centered often.
Right.
But I think it's also one of those languages that a lot of people aren't aware of.
Right.
You know, and even globally.
Right.
You know, so
or
it's like
they heard of it, or they heard it and not sure what it is.
Yep. So it's like, how do you put that into words? Because like the club dances that exist, you know, in Philly, and that were really a part of your generation.
I'm gonna say that just because, one, I'm from Philadelphia, and as a Philadelphian, I'm gonna say I have took on the energy of making sure we preserve our own history.
Yeah.
Being on stage as a kid, performing with my dad actually mentioning a lot of these names to me. My dad and my uncle did gymnastics with Dwayne, so I just seen Dwayne doing gymnastics as a teenager. You get what I'm saying? But like I said, Miss J was my tap teacher. Like how so much information has come full circle, and how many people we affect day to day, how many lives we actually save day to day. This art form that we do is now a part of an industry, and within that industry is history. And being from Philly, we get the short end of the stick.
So what is the Philly movement? Tell me what Philly dance. What is the Philly dance?
The Philadelphia dance part, I would say it started before us with all of the stepping and the stepping GQ turning into how I would say our hip hop heads execute some of their movement, which transferred into how we execute some of our movement. But the difference is, once we got Baltimore Club, the music, the tempo, the speed changed, and we had to switch how we execute. And the way I ended up learning how to sum it up, it's like a plus a step or minus a step. It's like we had to learn how to fill in certain spaces because the music that we was driven by was way beyond us at the time. So we had to learn how to make some of the stuff that we see some of our elders doing, like breaking, top rocking. We had to make that fit into club, which became party rocking. You get what I mean? So party rocking, tangin', the freak it, which drove us to go into the Wu-Tang. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? So after a while, we was able to build dances that was able to create a style.
Can you do like just even a quick embodiment of like that party rocking all the way to tangin'?
Party rocking. All right, and then that would go straight into tangin'. But the difference is, tangin' is the younger version of tang, right? Now that's a That's a big gap right there, right? Because me, I'm a Wu-Tanger. I Wu-Tang. 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 Tang. Now, that I can't really tang in a proper demonstration. I could teach it to you that it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But my rhythm don't meet where theirs meet. So the transition where that happened, we were on a high school tour. We were like right in high school and then right out of high school on high school tours. We've been Wu-Tanging since beginning of high school. The Freak It. DJ Freak Nasty had a dance that was like, freak it, freak it, freak it, right? So, us being able to actually dance amongst our peers a certain type of way because we were in that space. One of my other crew members, Ice, Rome, his big brothers, strippers. I can say their names.
Yeah, go. Well, I mean, I don't know if you want to. If they cool with it.
No, I mean, because they know
cool with it.
Like, they already legends in that world. You get what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Awesome Dre, Style, Wild Stallion, they are legends already in that world. You get what I mean? Like, I could say my mom know who they are just because of how major they were in their industry. You get what I mean? And it was a time where that male stripping energy was like at a high. You get what I mean? So it was like a big thing in like major cities. So
well, and when you that kind of I didn't even know this term, but the freaking it is
the freak it.
The freak it. Like
so
that,
DJ
that is,
Freak Nasty.
But that looks like that kind of male stripper, kind of like the way that they twist and
so,
stuff like that.
All right, so DJ Freak Nasty is Wild Stallion's age. Dre is the older brother. So it's generations of that already tapped into Philly. It's so many other Philly legends that it's so many other amazing dancers that ended up working in that industry.
Sure.
So you don't know them that much because of how it worked when you in that space.
So the progression is party rocking, freak it, and to
Freak It
Wu-Tang.
actually comes first.
So the freak it, party.
Freak It, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang.
Party rocking.
Which kind of looks like breaking top rock, but it's like with a Philly jig.
With a Philly jig.
It's dancing.
Plus or minus a step.
Yep, exactly.
Plus or minus a step.
So that's amazing. That's amazing. That because to me, the way that I see a lot of this stuff is it's colloquial. It's like about the communal. It's about a locality, and oftentimes what gets missed when we're talking about street dance is the appreciation of what happens based around a unique community.
Right.
So Philly has a unique history of all the things that you're even describing that makes us dance that way, opposed to maybe how the more official codified dancers want it to be maybe in New York or somewhere else. But what gets lost is this lineage of information to why in North Philly there exists a party rock with that jig. Well, the music might even be different. But the music is Baltimore Club and not like James Brown. You're not going to jig the same way.
How it's all led by the DJs and all that. At the time, the DJs that was really bringing this stuff from other places, their home base was North Philly. So we was getting a whole hub of stuff that a lot of people wasn't getting at the time, but it was moving fast. Like we was the era of 15-second Vine, 10-second Vine. You get what I'm saying? So once all of that stuff really started picking up, it was going. You get what I mean? So once we got a hold of Baltimore Club, the thing we didn't have was our own music. So we was making our own dances off of other people's sentence structure. How they write their music, we was writing our physical music to their music. And that's a whole different culture. So once we started getting our own music, and I'ma actually say Jersey was getting their own music before we were. It was a few of them coming up, but Jersey already had producers like Brick Bandits that people don't even know that they from Jersey. You get what I mean? And the stuff that we was listening to was already from Jersey.
So who's the Philly music? What's happening? When does the Philly music happen? Is there any?
So you got Wild, you got the Hideaway, you got Diamond Club, these is clubs, and DJ D Square.
What about the Dollar Boys? Is that, I mean, they...
Dollar Boys is like later. So
Okay.
Dollar Boys is Tangin'.
Okay.
Dollar Boys is a part of why Tangin' and Wu-Tangin' technically not the same thing, but it's the same thing. It's because we couldn't keep Wu-Tangin' in all of these schools because it's technically a freaky dance. The kids couldn't do what we were doing because it's technically a freaky dance. So it was something that was able to transfer what we was doing in the same aesthetic, and then a lot of them were not able to at all. So all they grabbed was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that turned into tango.
So let's keep on track. The music that you were talking about, let's talk about.
So Brick Bandits from Jersey. Once we start getting our own music, I'm gonna say D Square already had made a song, Freak Nasty had made a song. When the Wu-Tang, so as we was on this tour, DJ Freak Nasty, he was doing this thing. This a whole nother story that we kind of going through trying to get more light shed to it, but it gotta be equal parties ready to really tell whole truths. So as we was doing the tour, he was also taking the Wu-Tang and moving it in certain spaces. So the Wu-Tang was technically blowing up, and we wasn't even knowing we didn't even know what was happening. You get what I mean? So people was coming to the club, all that stuff. So all of these people that made the song first, D Square made a Wu-Tang song, Freak Nasty made a Wu-Tang song. Then D Square, he was making songs. DJ Sega really said, Philly, here y'all go. This is Philly club music. You get what I mean? DJ Sega really gave us variety of music to dance to. At first, we just had certain songs because it was trendy, I guess. Once Sega started making CDs and CDs and CDs and CDs, you got the Akis, DJ Aki, DJ Exclusive, you got DJ RL, DJ Diamond Cuts, it's so many of them that started making music. Now we can live. You can make a playlist of 1,000 songs now. You get what I mean? And as a dancer, especially as a pro dancer, understanding evolution, looking back at how we started, I was on LimeWire, I was on that stuff, downloading Baltimore club songs, you get what I mean? Recording songs off the radio on the tape. So I could like make a club mix, you get what I mean? And they was all Baltimore club songs. But we were still dancing how we danced here in Philly. And this was all happening when I was a teenager. You get what I mean? So once we got that music, it was over.
Yeah. So let's talk about your style. Like what is J.I.P known for? When we think of Phil Cuttino, like what is J.I.P? What is that?
J.I.P is actually an acronym. It stands for Just Inspiring People. So in a nutshell, that's what I hope to leave you with. Some inspiration, some motivation, some words of wisdom, something to help you move forward, something to be able to make you smile. Like anything in a positive nature, I hope I'm leaving that type of impact on you.
And like you have some signature moves.
Yeah. I mean, one in specific is the man overboard. Yeah,
And
that's
you'll do that
major.
on any surface.
I have, but as I get older, I'm starting to make more smart decisions, conscious decisions.
So what's an example? Like, what can you just describe what the man overboard is?
All right, so you know, at the beginning of Fresh Prince, when they knock on the door and Uncle Phil grab Will and he toss him out,
Yeah.
it's just like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm flying.
Yeah.
And then I do a shoulder roll and get up, no hands. Sometimes the roll could be 4 feet, 5 feet. Sometimes it could be 7 to 10 and 5 to 6
I've
feet high.
I've seen it span crazy distances.
It depends on how I feel. It depends on the moment. It depends on the energy that's in the room. Sometimes I use it to wake people up. Sometimes I use it to surprise people, shock people. For those who know it's coming, I make sure I give them that bang. But it was something that I got it from Forrest Get 'em Gump.
Mm-hmm.
And he used to do a move where he used to go and kind of jump back onto it. And it covered a nice amount of space.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw it, I was like, we did a tour in Cali for 2 weeks. And
Phil style with Gump being there, yeah.
And that was like, I learned so much being around Gump in 2 weeks. Up my breaking. You get what I mean? Because we was around Gump and Jay Spin.
Yeah, of course.
So I saw that move. And then I saw the different ways that he do the move because we was in tech. So I was able to do all of the math that I needed to know. And I said, I could do that. But real different. It's gonna mess you up because in my head, what I see, I think I'm willing to go for it.
Yeah. What is your overall? Because when I see you as a dancer, for me, what's happening is a convergence of so many different things. It's acrobatics, it's breaking, it's what I like to just call Philly jig or Philly, like just that groove, that jig. It's Wu-Tang, it's foundation, classic foundation. It's also, your interpretation of light feet is amazing.
Thank you.
It's all these things all at once without feeling like you have to be like this. Like, to me, I think it represents the spirit. The way that you dance represents the full spirit of what hip hop is.
Right. I mean,
Yeah,
to
so-
me personally,
Yeah.
that's what I'm.
That's what you're going
That's
for.
what I hope
Well,
I'm doing.
To me,
You
that's
get
what you're
I'm
doing.
saying?
I'm not any authority, and I'm not anyone who has like.
We know how the culture go, though. You
but
get what I mean?
But to me, like a lot of folks carry this kind of thought that hip hop should be this particular thing, but like the way that you approach it is like embodying everything to make it fit into the music and fit into the moment.
I feel like it's unfair to try to make somebody choose. With club being at where it's at right now, I can honestly say that people did not believe in what we was doing. Like I was that kid. You get what I'm saying? And I've heard it from horse's mouth that it wasn't dance. So like when you grow up hearing stuff like that stuff drive you.
Well,
you get what I'm saying?
And just to piggyback off of what you're saying, are we okay with the light? Just to piggyback off of what you're saying, we didn't come up in the same circles, and I think some people think that I went to school for dance. I didn't go to school for dance. I came up just like collecting it through friends and community, and but I had a lot of my mentorship was older leaders inside the community, and from my recollection from back then, they were so dedicated to foundation, that even kind of the way that I was influenced to think at the time was to see my peers like you as not as missing something because you weren't doing it the way the OGs were doing it, the pioneers.
I think my dad helped me keep that. Like we from North Philly, so we knew Rennie from the door. My dad used to dance. He battled Rennie before in the dance group. So as he was growing up and blowing up and stuff like that, and hip hop, and some of the dancers from Philly was taking their places and videos and this and that and this and that, my dad was able to point and say, look, this is who, this is that. They do this. When you meet them, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to like guide me a certain type of way, so I wasn't like scared to go to any of those old heads and ask them to learn from them.
But still keep yourself.
Right.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like you say, the adversity that you overcame from OGs, and then even indoctrinated people like myself, people who were influenced by the OGs to say, oh no, that's not right, that's not it, because it's not steeped in the foundation that they are connected to.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you were able to maintain your identity and your generation's identity and the integrity of that, and be able to do that all the while in your own pace, learning the foundations. And learning the foundations. I think that's something to celebrate, because it's like.
And I appreciate you for recognizing it, because like when I say like it's something that's really near and dear to me. One, because it's dance. It's my personal thing. It gets me closer to my different emotional, mental, physical, spiritual connections. But then also it's my history. It is literally
history.
my history.
Amen to that.
It's the history of my friends. You get what I'm
exactly.
saying? I come from a dance group of some of the best dancers in the city at the time. We changed the world. Once we made the Wu-Tang, we changed the world. But economically, we wasn't able to sustain a career at the time because what we were building wasn't technically history yet. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? And it took time for it to become history. And I think just me ending up alone, like a lot of my homies not being here, it made me fight it, because I grew up battling my peers, so I already knew what we was doing was good, because so many people have already lost. So it stopped becoming about a win or a lose. It become, let me make sure I'm representing this at its fullest, so people could start to see it and recognize it and learn it. Anytime they see me, they learn in club dance. And you could run back all my tapes and just probably like learn a little something about club dance, just because I want to make sure that I represent that part, because people said it wasn't going to be what it is today, and now look at it.
Yeah. And I think that's incredible. I mean, you know, I'll say straight up, my upbringing is based on really just emulating my elders. I didn't grow up with you know, I had exposures to some of the you know, the dancers our age, but it wasn't in constant contact with them.
Right.
So, you know, in all of the dance that I was building, my knowledge was built on just trying to collect foundational information. And I think there's something to be said about being a part of a community that's innovative. And part of the only way to kind of achieve that is to have some degree of separation from authority. Right. Like you don't have authority saying, you know, and that's a beautiful thing.
And that's what it was. I ain't had no teachers.
Yeah.
Like my dad was my first teacher. My dad taught me how to wave. My dad taught me like I did gymnastics. My dad and my uncles was all city champions, you get what I'm saying? So I was already learning from people in my head that was the greatest.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So as I was going out into the world, I was learning from people as just elders and peers, you get what I mean? So I didn't hold on to that like personal attachment. But as I got older, I really was, when I really dove into learning everything else that I wasn't mastering before, it really made me master my thing.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Because I'm learning everything that when my pop would say, "Oh no, you just doing what we did back in You get what I mean? At that time, he not really breaking it down to me, but now I'm learning from this elder, and they showing me moves from here and there. But they was the ones on Soul Train, and that's where my dad got the move from. Oh, that's where Philly got the move. Oh, okay. All right, so it just started making so much historical sense that, I don't know, like I just stayed in the space of preserving history and making history. And to make history, you gotta kind of go against the grain.
You gotta go against the grain. To wrap up our conversation here, I just want to quickly talk about your approach to fashion and your approach to being a designer, and how, you know, a lot of folks really just express the culture through like a lot of folks only find their way through one form of expression, whether it's the music, the dance. You're someone who has been able to find ways to express through visuals, through your own fashion, as well as your movement. Can you just speak about that?
From the graffiti aesthetic, I used to write, but like I'm not really into like challenging the law in that way. So what I was always trying to figure out is how can I take the hip hop side and make that something legit. So I went from tagging. Well, I always was in arts as a kid, creative arts, but the graffiti part, the tagging, the hand, the way the wrist work and the different curls and strokes, I was taking that from, instead of doing it on a wall, I would do it on a canvas. But then it's like, all right, now I'm gonna start making some clothes. I started making clothes, and I was doing like a lot of hand-sewn stuff. You know what I mean? I'm doing a lot of hand-sewn stuff. And I don't know, like, it was cool for me because my mom, she already was a seamstress, so I already was aware of how to use the needle. So just trying to make little ideas come to existence. But once I really started like doing graffiti on shirts, tagging on shirts, bombing on shirts, painting pictures on shirts, like it reminded me of the old school 80s. Mm-hmm. My dad is like my biggest influence. My dad was that era of hip hop. So I've seen him look like that. You get what I mean? Like I've seen him walk like that. I've seen his homies coming into the studio and they all look like that, looking like Busta Rhymes. What was Busta Rhymes' crew?
Flip Mode Squad.
No, the crew he was with before them. The crew Busta Rhymes was with before them. I just told my pop, I was like, I remember when I was little, y'all used to look like that.
Oh man!
When they used to be all the one? Fushnikins? No, that's not them. See, and this is hip hop. This is like stuff like I know it because of my dad. It's not necessarily my era. You get what I mean? It's
but
stuff.
Flip Mode Squad was.
Flip Mode Squad is my era.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes technically been out since '80.
Yeah, I don't.
Two probably, maybe '84. You get what I mean? So he had a longer career. We just was locked into a certain space, and that's where my dad come into play because he remind me of the era before when I watched the videos. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? Like just watching the box. I got this weird kind of memory.
I've been telling people about the box recently.
I got a weird memory.
So real quick, just in terms of fashion, one of the things I want to just like wrap up on is just what you said about the fashion, your approach to fashion and design being kind of a counterpoint to some of the more repressive forces that can exist in the hood in Black communities. And I think it's important. I mean, if anything, I think that that's one of the most important things that I would want to kind of share an insight on with the UMA community. It's like how you approach that.
It's partial freedom.
Like, how it's liberation in a certain way.
Like, we live in a society where blue collar, you could work in factories and warehouses, then you gotta wear a Dickie suit. I work in a middle school where, like, I watch some of the teachers come to work and then like, and then they'd be like, some teachers come to work and they'd be like, it's like so many different weird spaces, and it's like, The rules no longer apply when you're aware of who you are. You get what I mean? Yeah, you might work in a space where you gotta wear a suit and tie, but colors don't shift that. Colors shift your mood. Colors don't shift if it's a suit or a tie, if it's dress shoes, or if it's slacks and stuff like that. So the different ways that you can add light and life to how you present yourself, I believe that's key in presenting yourself. Like if you don't take any thought in how you step out the door, you're not taking any thought into what you're presenting to the world.
And it's a something to be proud of too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and we all got days where we want to feel like a bum. You get what I mean? And it's all okay.
Yeah.
But day to day, fashion is existence. Fashion is how you could shift your mood, and you might be down, but when you walk outside, you don't look as down as you feel.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You might bump into that person that you've been looking to run into, but for the same reason why you down, just because you decided to dress up today. You get what I mean? So I don't know, fashion play a lot into how you can shift through the world.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's dance.
Let's get it. So this right here, this Baltimore club.
Mm-hmm.
This is when we was at our prime going at everybody.
Yeah.
Is that all you got? Like we was really talking these songs with dance. This is where the top rock and come into play with the tanging and stuff like that, because we were still here, and then when the beat dropped, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And then depending on the people, we had people who was poppers, you got the rockers, you got breakers, everybody still had a style. Club just was our style. It was our young Philadelphia style. The other style still existed to us.
Mm-hmm.
We just was kids and we wasn't getting taught, so we just was mimicking. So we mimic rocking, but that, you get what I mean, right? Once you grow, you know.
Let's just play around with a little bit of that, because I'm trying to vibe with you. Can we go louder?
Yeah.
Remix.
All right, so please up.
Remix.
And that's just top rock.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, the influence is Hong Ten.
Yeah.
Hong Ten got a long drop. We were studying these things, just using them in our space. So we was top rocking.
Hey.
You get what I mean? And that became the signature of the rock. So same cadence as
Same
breaking.
cadence, but the whole essence and feel is very different.
It shifts
It
because
shifts.
of how it's driven.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'ma say we was tanging here, and this was before we was Wu-Tang. We said tanging as our nickname for Wu-Tang, and it was the short version of saying Wu-Tang. The next generation made tanging a style. So when I say tanging, I'm still referring to Wu-Tang.
Mm-hmm.
So we still Wu-Tang. Chest engaged. You get what I mean? Cause it's a stripper dance.
Mm-hmm.
But this is from Baltimore, the music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They footwork locked in. We come from Philly where popping is a thing, breaking is a thing. We are a foundational city.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where all of that buildup is already in us. We just ain't know what it was. That's why I just had it.
Yeah.
That tanging, once
Once they start speeding it up, that's where it shifts. So I'm gonna play another drum for you.
But this drawing, boom, So you,
Hop, skip,
oh, okay. So hop, skip, down. Oh, wow.
skip, drop.
Wow. I never knew
Like
that.
a tuck.
Yeah.
Boom. Yep. And it became a thing. So if you watch the youngins right now, they do this thing. It's like you know how they say back in the day, B-boys used to intimidate the old heads. That's where they get all of this from. That's where they get all of those poses from. It's the same thing with club when they doing party rocking. They intimidating the one, they're
Yeah, intimidating.
and interpreting.
Oh, no. Imitating.
Imitating,
Yeah. Imitating.
and
Yeah.
interpreting
Yeah.
the older people that they watch. So how me as a wiser dancer, I could just go. You get what I mean? And it click a certain type of way because we are the first version of it. So they're interpreting this and turning that into foundation. And now it looks the beginning of it really being permanent and who represents it in the dance industry, Box One. Box One, his generation did something that took what we was doing and locked it in. And it became a thing, and you can see it in him to this day. You get what I mean? That's why he's an amazing representation of what Philly represents. You get what I mean? Because he's bringing this aesthetic and the OG aesthetic and displaying them separately and all at the same time.
So,
see, once you lock the chest in, that's when you really tangle. Because it's a stripper dance.
So I have a question. How can you like do a round that brings Tangen into like so if you were right in this moment to go on a journey and Tangen somehow like you go in and out of it. Yeah. So, because the cool thing that you mentioned, it evolves from being a stripper dance, which I'm telling you, most people who know it on the surface don't know that history. So you can do a full round that's Tangen, and you can take it in and out of places, right?
Well, so I would do a full round of Philly club dance, which include dances that some people may be aware of and some people may not be aware of, are still a part of Philly club dance. You get what I mean? So how I could party rock and it'll look like top rocking, but if you just top rock, it wouldn't look like that.
Take us on the journey, man. Take us on.
So this is like one of the signature songs. X-Men. We used to parties, talent shows, moms, grandmoms. They knew it. They seen it. We was opening up strip shows to songs like this. Woo, 10, woo, 10, woo. The hype come before anything.
Hey.
They think it's Jersey, right?
Yeah.
They think it's Jersey, right?
Yeah.
But no, because girls in Philly used to be like this.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they used to go like this.
Hey.
D-Mac.
Yep.
D-Mac. It's always the break. Because you can show definition.
Don't take me lightly. This wasn't made to hurt you. This really was nothing about you.
Like you can just really like live in it. It's not just the tang no more, because we brought it from the strip world and made it a dance and started once, and I think even just amongst my friends, that's where I played the biggest part, because I wasn't as freaky as they was. So I had to find ways that was crazy entertaining and make girls be like, you get what I mean? Because I wasn't doing all of the even to this day, I only do it sometimes. It's just not really my thing. But to Wu-Tang is a physical structure.
Just
you get what I mean, right? Boom, 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 boom. Because with the chest, you could just do Wu-Tang, but it's really shown with the arms. Boo. You hear how like when you hit it said boo.
And then also what's amazing about that the use of the chest with your approach to Wu-Tang is that usually when we think about chest movement, we think about the accent being out.
Boom.
But this is boom.
Right.
And like, how often are we coming across that in a lot of? I mean, Crump maybe has
Sometimes.
A little bit of that.
The closest I came through my learning is in popping, when you're doing the inward hit, when you're doing a breathe boom.
Yeah.
Or a crump when you're doing stuff like
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Or locking inward. It's more so on those inward movements, and only a few styles got a move or two.
But that seems to be at the heart of
where it drives, right?
Tanging.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
And even with the young ones, it's not chest engaged, but it's the
because they go so fast, man. Like with the young ones, the way.
Remember how I said it's the hype that come first?
Yeah.
So how when I was like Wu-Tang, that's technically
because
said
their
before
stuff
the
is on.
dancing is starting.
Yeah.
So that's like the hype. That's like, ooh, that's them coming in, and you know how like we get told about a jack. Our jack go like this. Like this is core, this is tight, and you gotta rock because the music is a little faster. It's not as fast as what they dance to today, but it was faster. So that's where that lock started. Now, since it's so fast, they don't lock and rock, they bounce. They bounce in time.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So they don't have enough space to, unless they go.
Oh my goodness.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so different. It's crazy. But I don't know. That's why I like growing up, because being the kid where we started with question marks.
Yeah.
They got all the puzzle pieces they need.
Yeah.
Like, and they doing it and don't even know what
I've
they
even
doing.
seen some of them. It's dope. I've seen some of them put locking in there.
Yeah. All right. So, and then I would say, I don't. Me personally, I think it all still come from like the Soul Train. You get what I mean? My dad, from what he explained to me, locking really wasn't a thing here in Philly. It was more so the West Coast thing. When they saw it more so on TV.
We was calling it the rerun.
The rerun, right? It was more so jokey.
Yeah.
You
Joking,
get what
exactly.
I mean?
Yep.
So even with that coming into understanding, that joke became a style.
And when you see OGs do it, they like.
It looked like they doing what we doing when we club locking, but they don't even do it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where it was like, okay. And I don't know, just like being a student of the game, I do more math on my own than having to ask all the questions. I ask enough questions, and then I gather my own thoughts. They ain't gotta be perfect, they ain't gotta be right. I ain't saying they can't be corrected or none of that, but I'm able to gather enough information for me to start moving in a direction closer to it.
Yeah. That's amazing. From your vantage point, is clubs starting to catch on more around the world, or is it?
Yeah, because now the songs are starting to get more global. Like now our music is starting to reach major platforms. When you got people like Nicki Minaj and Lil Uzi doing the club song, Lil Uzi used to be in YIC or something like that, one of the dance groups in Philly.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So it's history really making full circles for other people to have opportunities. You get what I mean? So I'm gonna say this, and it might sound a little harsh, right? I feel like at first we was preserving other cities' culture.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Now we have our own culture to preserve, and it just so happened to start. It started from all the way back with the GQs and tap dancing and all of that stuff. But now we actually have a whole universe that comes from Philadelphia. You get what I mean? And there was so much time that was spent neglecting it versus cultivating it. And as being a professional, the one thing that I saw was that, the light feet, I'm going to use them as an example, because that's the example that I use to my peers when I tell them about, on our end, how we kind of dropped the ball. You get what I mean? They stayed consistent. New York didn't care. Light feet was a thing no matter what they thought. You get what I mean? Like, you could live in New York and never leave New York and be a billionaire. You get what I mean? And I don't think in Philadelphia we was able to have that mindset. So I think as we were doing what we were doing, everybody couldn't fathom how can we take this further, and they don't like it. You get what I mean? And the way that I found a way to do that is you join them. You do what they like. And then once you're in the club, you disrupt it by being so opposite. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I was able to use that advantage, because since I'm around so many people preserving funk styles, traditional hip hop styles, I'm preserving something that really just came out yesterday.
Exactly.
So,
and that's beautiful. I'm so happy that you're doing that, and that you can speak so well about it, that you have such a clear idea and concept about the importance of your work to do that. You know what I mean? And I hope more people from the city are on board and get on board, because
I hope so. And I think it's with it being such a new time, it's shifting for a lot more of that to be able to happen. We have been in a weird 10-year decade in Philadelphia. So I feel like we are rising out of a weird space. But with the energy that's coming, I feel like everybody is looking at the future in a more progressive, more preservative manner.
Okay. Well, I'm with it.
It's your boy J.I.P the Ruler. Make sure y'all follow me on the gram. J.I.P TheRuler. J.I.P the Ruler. Just inspiring people and VDC Lifestyle. VDC Lifestyle.com and IG.
And can you real quick just let us know how we can actually get gear? So because I think your gear is so dope and so expressive, and are all those are the platforms where people, if they see this, can know how to shop for gear.
If you want to shop my merch, you could go to vdclifestyle.com or DM VDC Lifestyle on Instagram, and I could send you some of the exclusive pieces that I don't have on my website. And I'm actually about to do a new drop, so new drop coming soon.
Hey man, thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.